One of the most brutal and defining moments in Star Wars history might actually be coming to live action in Andor Season 2, the Ghorman Massacre. This event is what triggers Mon Mothma to finally go full-on rebellion. And finally seeing this event in live action could be a game changer not only for this show, but for Star Wars storytelling in general. So will we see it? Let's break it down. Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, I'm Patrick, I'm Dad of Xander, and we talk Star Wars all the time. So if Star Wars is your thing, be sure to hit that subscribe button. If you're unfamiliar, the Ghorman Massacre is one of the Empire's most horrific events, and it plays out similarly both in canon and in legends. Peaceful protesters gathered on the planet of Ghorman to protest the Empire's oppression. But rather than listen to the protesters, the Empire decided to turn on them. In Legends, Grand Moff Tarkin ordered his Star Destroyer to simply land on the crowd, killing thousands. And in both instances, the Ghorman Massacre was a clear message from the Empire that protest was not to be tolerated. In the Legend storyline, this event really solidifies Grand Moff Tarkin's brutal reputation. But more importantly, in the canon storyline, it's this event that triggers Mon Mothma to leave the Empire for good, going full on into the rebellion. So why does this event matter for Andor Season 2? At the end of Season 1, Mon Mothma is walking a very dangerous line. She's balancing her political role as a senator in the Empire versus all of the work she's doing in the background to fight the Empire. And we know from Star Wars Rebels and Rogue One that that's not going to be the case for much longer. Let's take a look at some of the screenshots I grabbed from the Andor Season 2 trailer and the first look that Disney Plus put out. You can clearly see that there are many scenes in these trailers that are depicting some sort of protest going on, and you can see that there are Imperial stormtroopers lurking about the whole time. Now, are we sure that these scenes are on Ghorman? No, we're not positive. But I think it's not far of a leap to think that they are. And imagine if Mon Mothma was on Ghorman when the protests happen and when the massacre happens. What if she witnesses it firsthand, leading her to become the leader of the rebellion that we know? There's also this set photo that's made its way around that seems to show Cassian and Mon Mothma running from something. What if this is Ghorman and he is saving her and taking her away? So let's assume for a moment that I'm right and that these scenes are the Ghorman Massacre. What does this tell us about what else we could see in Andor Season 2? Well, the question begs, will Tarkin be the one responsible for the massacre? As I've talked about in Legends, he was the one who landed a Star Destroyer on the crowd. Now, I'm not saying they're going to go that exact route, but it would be pretty cool to bring Tarkin into Andor Season 2 being responsible for this event. There's also a tie between the Ghorman Massacre and Star Wars Rebels. If you watched my previous video, you know that I am pretty much convinced that Cassian will be going to Lothal in this season of Andor. And I've speculated about whether or not the Ghost Crew would make an appearance. If Andor Season 2 does show us the live-action Ghorman Massacre, that's another chance for us to see the crew of the Ghost. Because we know from Star Wars Rebels that when Mon Mothma gives her speech declaring rebellion against the Empire, she does it with the crew of the Ghost on board the Ghost.
This is Senator Mon Mothma. I've been called a traitor for speaking out against a corrupt galactic Senate. A Senate manipulated by the sinister tactics of the Emperor. We will not rest until we bring an end to the Empire, until we restore our Republic. Are you with me?
So can we assume that that means that the crew of the Ghost were responsible for getting Mon Mothma out of the Empire's grasp? Did they rescue her from Ghorman? This is just another way that we might be able to see these two great shows that take place during this time period of the beginnings of the rebellion come together in Andor Season 2 and give us another look at the Ghost crew in live action. If Andor Season 2 does bring us this event, it is huge for Star Wars. It would give us that moment in live action of seeing Mon Mothma come to her full potential as the leader of the rebellion. Second, it would do another good job of showing us, the audience, of just how brutal the Empire is and why rebellion formed in the first place. This is something that all of the stories that we've been getting since Disney took over have done a wonderful job of doing. Because when you watch the original trilogy, other than them blowing up Alderaan, there's not a whole lot of instances showing us why there's a rebellion. What did the Empire do? We are seeing that being built in all of these additional stories. And this is another great opportunity to do that. And then it would just tie more of these stories together, bringing us closer with Rebels, bringing us ties to Ahsoka down the road. I love when Star Wars ties their stories together and makes us really know that we're talking about one big story. It wouldn't just be another dark moment in the Star Wars timeline. It would be the moment that defines not only Mon Mothma, but the rebellion. And if done properly, could be the most powerful scene in all of Andor. So what do you think? Do you think that we're going to see the Ghorman Massacre live on our screens in Andor Season 2? And if so, how do you think it's going to play out? Are they going to go the Legends route? Are they going to tell their own version of the story? And if you enjoyed my little breakdown here, please subscribe to my channel. I do analysis of Star Wars, review of all the new shows and movies, but I also have this Star Wars basement that I love to show off my collection in. I build costumes like the Stormtrooper, I build props. So if you like Star Wars, this is the channel for you. And at the end of March, I'm going to give a free lightsaber away to one of my subscribers. So you'll want to be entered in for that. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.